All right, as always, here's the risk disclosure. Trading futures is risky. Know what you're doing before you do it, and you can lose all your money. Also, this live stream is not financial advice. It is for educational purposes only, and the live stream is not intended to copy my trades. Good morning, everybody. Thursday, today and tomorrow left of the week. See if we can get some decent setups here. Morning, Dr. Jean, C, Damos, Jeff. How are y'all doing? Had a nice run up this morning, it looks like. Of course, like I said, it's been doing that right before my session. Yep, doing great. Let's see, how many trading days we have today, tomorrow, Monday, and Tuesday left of the month. So 4, including today, 4 trading days left. So, of course, just going to take what the market hands out. We do have some news, high impact news at 8:30. So, that's always fun. Let me point out on the 30 tick right quick. You see how we had a straight run up? Nice run up here. Hit the 7 deviation. Did a reversal bar. One more bar down. This bar up. If this wick would have laid a mini magnet, that would have been an ICR, institutionally controlled reversal, more than likely. And then push down like it's doing now, that would have been really nice. Obviously, it didn't lay a mini magnet, but just pointing that out, I would have been looking for that. We have spread OP down below. Decent little level right here. It got broken, though, so I'll just maybe keep my eye on that. Okay, let's right there where that level is that I mentioned. That's a decent little level to keep my eye on. I'm gonna probably put a temporary wall there because if I scroll back, here was a top where it had a mini magnet and green eye block here. Came back to it, couldn't break it, left a SLZ there. Finally broke it. Resistance now became support. Laid that mini magnet there. Came back down, kind of chopped there again, and then went up, and now we're up there. So I'll just kind of put a little temporary wall. Let's see. I actually don't want to put it on my 30 tick. 922.50. $922.50. Oh, there's actually already a Darrow wall there. So I'm not going to put a wall because there's already a Darrow wall there. I don't have walls or anything on my 30 tick, so I like to keep that chart clean. So I'll just leave that as is. So that's what I like to look for in the morning or before I start my trade session. Any areas of significance. And I like to mark either temporary walls or actual walls. Just because, you know, I know Lori does that, but I just like to do it as well, just in case, you know, if anything gets missed. All right. Good morning. Morning, Jim. Looks like Simplicity's trying to go short here. Making its way back down to the 0.5. I mean, it did go short and then had this reset right here. So let's see if it'll continue making its way down. I mean, it went up and hit 12,002. Yeah, 12,002 and 50 cents. Look at that. Broke 12,000. I'll be curious. Man, there's a lot of news at 8:30. I'll be curious to see how this news, if it'll shoot it, rocket it past 12,000 or not. Morning, Dan. I'm not taking a pullback here because it's not really, Simplicity's not really trending very well, and there's this deviation right here. We're right at a cluster to the left on the 30 tick. So I'm not sure if this, well, now we have a potential mini magnet, but we're really close to the dark zone. It's just about 825. This could chop around right here. But you see how Simplicity, like it reset and it just kind of went sideways here and then it broke short. And now it's doing this little pullback, but it hasn't really gone into a nice Simplicity trend since this reset. So I'll be sitting this out. Especially, like I said, we're right at about, almost into the dark zone now. I'm just going to wait till after the news, see what happens. $7.50 bar. Good morning, Daniel. I'm just reading your comments here, Jean. Oh, okay. So I think I see what you're saying here. So you got in right about this area, 750 bar. Yeah, after the break of the ZOI. Okay, so you got in at this up here, went up, pulled back. Yeah, it closed below the solid line and then shot up. Okay, let me show you a little trick where you could have got in at. If we scroll back here, we go way back. There's simplicity all the way down here where it started. It came up, then it got a reset here, right? Obviously, we have the ZOI that you're talking about. We have this purple ZOI. So you got to reset. And then here was another entry where it started. But you wouldn't have wanted to take this entry. So I understand, completely understand why you got in where you got in. So you wouldn't have wanted to take this entry because you have the ZOI right there. You're not sure if it's going to bust it, right? Looks like there was a cluster on the 30 tick right there too. But you have a valid entry. There's a valid entry right at the top. And then it kind of chopped around a little bit. So what I would do in that situation, because it's a valid entry here, it's just not at a point where you would want to take it. And when I was taking my simplicity entries, this is what I would do. I would know I want to get in if it breaks this ZOI and wall. So I would place an entry, a pending order right here, right above it. Because I know if it breaks that, it's still in a simplicity trade. It's still a valid trade. But if it breaks this, especially since it consolidated here and had a cluster on the 30 tick, if it breaks it, it's going to go more than likely. So I'll put a pending order right above here. And I learned this from Daryl. And when it breaks, it enters you in the trade. And now you're in down here, right about, let's say, 11,976 versus up here, 7 points away. So you gain that extra 7 points. So then if it comes up here and you get out, you know, let's say you did get out here at 83. Well, you still got your at least 7 points if you didn't hang in this. Good morning. Morning, John. So yeah, that's just kind of my thoughts on that. And that's what I look for whenever I'm doing simplicity entries. Well, when I was doing them, and I learned that from Daryl, waiting for a break. If there's already an entry, then you could just wait for a point of break and just have a pending order there. That way, if it breaks it, you hop in, and then if it shoots off, you don't have to wait for another entry. Yeah. All right, let's see. I'm very curious what news is going to do, but let's go to this 30 tick. Right here we have, on its way down, we had this mini magnet and it left a ZOI right there. So mini magnet ZOI, where it just came back and touched. Now news is out. Let's see where it goes. Yeah, Jean, your exit was fine because if you want to follow the simplicity rules, then yeah, you would have exited there because it did close below the solid line. I'll show you another trick though. Yeah, John, that's what I was wondering. It barely broke 12,000, but I was curious if it'd go back up there with news or not. So let me go here. Let me go back to where you were, that exit. So what you could do also is when this pulled back and closed here, see you have this little wick. It pulled back and then it has the wick and then it closed here. And I've learned this from Daryl as well. So it closed here and then you can see the next bar didn't go any further down. So if you're trailing this, your stop would have probably been down here around 980 or so, or maybe even at break even. But yeah, you easily could have just, so what you can do too in this situation where it closes here and then the next bar starts heading up, you can put your stop right here on the bottom of this bar. So that way if it does continue down, well, it stops you out. I mean, not at the bottom of the bar, at the bottom of the wick, because you have this wick and it closed up. So you put your stop right here on the bottom of this wick. That way, if this next bar, when it does go to this next bar, if it does continue down, then it just knocks you out at your stop. But you still give yourself a chance to stay in by putting your stop right here at the bottom of this wick. And then if it continues up, you just leave your stop there. And then, if it makes another trend, then you trail it that way, or just take profit at this target up here. I'll even do that sometimes with my trailing my LREs. Yeah, on these, whenever I have little spots on these streams where, there's some good info like that, I need to start dissecting, like taking those, making mini clips and making a quick little video out of those. That way you don't have to go back searching. I need to start doing that. Remix. All right, news wasn't too crazy. I don't know if maybe because there may be maybe a delayed reaction or what, but let's see. Yeah, I mean it shot all the way down to 929 or 930. And then it popped right back up to where it was trading before. So, a few clusters on the 30, a little bit of chop on the 50. So let's see if this thing wants to get in a direction for us. Yeah, that very well could be the case, John. And I mean, it's been in an upwards trend pretty much since, looks like, around 5 a.m. So, yeah, it could be a wipe out all the stops, all the retail traders down there, and push to try to break 12,000. We'll see. Yep. We are definitely in 5 bar on the 6th bar of chop right here on the 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the 6th bar. It's going to be interesting. 12,000 is a big level. Yeah, we could always be wrong, John. So we just trade what we see. So we have 10 a.m. later for you all trading after the open, 10 a.m. new home sales. And it looks like President Biden will be speaking at 10:30, around 10:30. See if that did anything to oil. Oh, so after I shut down yesterday, I did take a nice little 23 tick simplicity short in oil, not on this account and not even my funded accounts. I just did it on some evaluations. It was a few minutes after 9:30. So So it's pretty nice. And it was actually a really good trade. But obviously, one mini on oil is $10. So that was a $230 with just that quick little 23 tick move. Yeah, Mark says, I'm pretty confident I'm almost always wrong. Thank you, stop losses. We have a nice COI crash also right up here. You can see it. We're heading right to it. We have a simplicity, not a simplicity long yet, but it's trying to go long right into this crash. And that's that same level. So let me throw the 30 tick up here. That's the same level I was saying, pointed out where we had the mini magnet ZOI back here to the left. Price came down, pulled back up, laid a crash on it. And look, as it broke through, it laid another ZOI on it. Interesting level. Interesting level. Gonna mark a temporary wall on this one. 82.25. All right, got my little temporary wall there. Market's going long. We are heading towards 12,000. See what it happens at 12,000. Gonna have to throw this on all charts. Okay. Busted through 12,000, made a new high of 12,006. What are we going to... Oh, sorry about that. I had the wrong screen on. All right, John. Thank you. We'll see you later. Yeah, the unknown trader. That's the weatherman's job, is to be right sometimes. All right, let's see. See, we broke out of that 50 tick chop, and we did get a long, simplicity long, but I mean, it shot up there pretty quick. And that long was right into that ZOI crash as well. So it's not one I would have loved to hop into. And it had big bars on simplicity chart, you know, a couple big bars compared to what we've had. Obviously, it's because it's after the news, but man, I'm kind of hesitant to take a long here because we're at 12,000, right at 12,000. Anything can happen now. It can just skyrocket up, or that could be resistance. So I'm not going to take it. Plus, we have double clusters on the 30 tick here, indicating there's a fight and could be the end of that. So I'm just going to wait till we get away from 12,000. Whether that's long or short, I don't care. I just want it to decide on where it wants to go from there. That's an LRE there, but like I said, I'm just being a little more safe on this one because I don't know what's going to happen at 12,000. Let's see. If you would have got in at 992, so you would have gotten, if you would have taken the actual entry, you would have gotten stopped out. You would have wanted to wait until it pulled back to that ZOI, but that one's too risky for me.
Potential TX on NQ. Trap orders with exhaustion box on NQ. Double cluster NQ.
Coming back down to those ZOIs here. And that little temporary wall I put. So when I put a temporary wall, I'll usually leave it up all day, not just during my trading session. That way, when I load my charts at night and I do some review, I'll go back and see how price reacted around it and if it left any other order prints around it, and then decide whether to make it permanent or just leave it as a temporary one. Just an FYI. Simplicity might be trying to go short here. Let's see. Got some flip going on. Some angling trying to happen. Let's see. As of now, these ZOIs are holding pretty strong. Laid a cluster underneath there too. I don't know if you can see that or not. On the 10 tick.
Potential TX on NQ.
Yep, bunch of ZOIs. 10 and 30. Oh, let me go ahead and refresh my flux levels in dynamic magnets. Now would be a good time for that. Okay. All refreshed. Nothing really popped up. Yeah, it's actually, I mean, it's not very surprising in this little area. 15.3 zone or so that we're getting a bunch of ZOIs and clusters on the 10 and the 30 because market really has to decide if it wants to just go ahead and run north of 12,000 or if that's going to be resistance. So that's what's going on right now. It's really trying to figure out where we're going. Back down to the ZOIs on the bottom and my temporary wall. Actually hit the wall to the tick. Take a quick look at CL while I'm sitting here. Oh, CL's in a nice little trying to run up here. Busted the +7 deviation and a flux level.
Double cluster and Q. Potential TX on NQ. Potential TBS on NQ. TBS on NQ.
Yeah, Daniel, I used to take sniper trades before. The first time I got funded was just with sniper trades a couple years ago. And my favorite sniper trades were HD trades and the ETXs. Those have such a high probability. There's two reasons why I stopped taking sniper trades. One was my discipline. So as you know, a regular sniper trade, you have a 9 tick on NQ. You have a 9 tick profit target and 21 tick stop. So my discipline couldn't handle being up 2 winning trades, and then you take a loss and it wipe out all my profit for the day. My discipline just couldn't handle that at the time. And then the other thing is my schedule got to where I couldn't trade after the market opens. And since I couldn't trade after the market opens, I had to figure out, because there's not a ton of sniper trades. I mean, I guess there's really not a ton of LREs either, but there's less snipers, before the open. You may get one, if you're lucky, 2 before an open, really good sniper trade. And so that was another reason. I just felt the market put, and it typically does, put out more simplicity in LRE trades before the open. So those are the 2 main reasons why I stopped taking sniper trades. They're great, though. I mean, they're great. I couldn't. The biggest one was my discipline. So with LREs, the ratio is you're typically, at a worst case, should have a 1-to-1 ratio. You should be able to make at least as much as you're risking on the trade. And in many cases, like now that I trail mine, many cases I make more and sometimes double what I'm willing to risk.
Double cluster NQ.
Yeah, I mean, it could be scary. The 2 main things you got to have with that type of ratio, and I completely understand. I mean, I know why that ratio is the way it is because of what the orders are telling you in the market on the reversal bar. But the 2 main components to be successful taking trades with that ratio is you do have to make sure you take the best valid setups. That way you do have, because when you're taking the great setups, you do have, I mean, at one point I was averaging almost 90% win rate, between 85 to 90% win rate on those sniper trades. So you do have to take the good ones, and if you do lose, you just gotta, not lose control. So that's the key to those for sure. Taking the great ones and then just, having the discipline to keep with the money management. I mean, that's the same with all setups, but more so the snipers because of that ratio. We do have HD on this 10 tick, and it is a simplicity. It is a pullback and an LRE, but again, it's right there at the deviation, and we're right below the 12,000 mark. It hasn't quite gone long enough for me to feel comfortable taking this pullback. I mean, I think it could work, but I just don't like the area that we're in right this second. Simplicity didn't really run too far. So we got, you really have a entry pretty much where this pullback is. And it just popped up a little bit and didn't really trend. Just had like a little pop up and now a pullback. So I'm not liking this. I really want the market to give a clear decision on which way it's going to go. I really want a nice trend. At least a nice simplicity trend. Yeah. Shown. It popped up and then just immediately shot down. I mean, right to that flux level as well. So it's like, it's still, to me, not has not decided. I mean, we still we're in the 4-bar, on the 5th bar of 50 tick chop as well. So just looking for a breakout bar now. Yeah, Daniel, if you're going to take LREs, and if you haven't, I guess, truly mastered the sniper system, you really want to make sure you have the sniper system down. But I get it, if you want to just jump to LREs. So just make sure you have a good idea on how sniper works, because that is what I'm reading. I don't just, obviously you look at the simplicity chart to know your entries, but I'm basing everything on the 10 and 30 tick. So check out my 2 LRE videos that I have too. I have one that I posted a while back, and then I updated one with basically the 3 things I look for an LRE. And, that'll help you as well. And what I would do too, especially since you're trading pre-market, I would put, when I started, I had a 20 tick stop loss and a 20 tick profit target. And I mean, most LREs, even if you don't take the best ones, many of them will still go and hit that 20 tick target. So I would do that to start off with. I dropped my stop loss to 15 ticks, but that's because I typically get pretty good entries in most cases. So I tightened up my stop loss a little bit. And what I found is that most trades, if they went past 15 ticks against me, they went ahead and lost the full 20 anyways. But you just got to make sure you have a good entry. Yeah, I love the 15 tick stop, like I said, especially because when I did that back testing, it was like over a month. Every LRE that lost, I mean, just about all of them, if it went past 15 ticks, it went ahead and lost 20. So it's like, let me save those 5 ticks. Exactly, doctor. That's what I love. You take a loss, and then your next one's a win, you're in the profit. You didn't just make your money back to break even. You're in the profit. And when I started playing with these money management numbers like that, that's what really helped my discipline. Then I was able to accept a loss so much more. It's like, oh, I got a loss, no problem. Next one wins, I'm back in the profit. It's not going to take me a whole bunch of trades to come back. Yeah, exactly, doctor. And I needed that bad. I'm gonna hop over to CL and see what it's doing at the oil open real quick. It's 9 o'clock, 9:01. And I noticed too, oil, even though at 9 o'clock, it doesn't just take off like NQ does at the open. It'll kind of hesitate and then it'll just pop. So all right, it's going for another shot, maybe long. Let's see. The 30 tick, if you look, I mean, we saw back here where it popped 12,000. But then recently, 1, 2, 3, we're on like the 3rd, 4th try right now. So if we can get along above this flux, which we just closed this bar up. So the bar, the 50 tick bar would be at 12.018. That's what I would love for it to happen. So basically get a long here, break this flux, and then get our 12.018 breakout bar to close. And I would prefer it to go a little further, then pull back to this area for a long off of it. But even if that 12.018 bar closes and then comes back down to this area, I may be willing to take it long. But we'll just have to see how strong it goes long, because I don't want it to pull back into this zone and start kind of chopping around again. There's no real indication that I'm seeing anywhere that it will go up, except for that how many times it's tried this area. Other than that, I'm not seeing, there's no mini magnets to push it or anything else like that. So just I'd be a little cautious. Just make sure that 50 tick bar closes up, a breakout bar up.
Potential elevator on CL.
Market, might not even be ready to go past 12,000 today. We'll see.
Double cluster NQ.
I do think if it can... See, here's another one of those situations. For simplicity, just like earlier. We have a long entry, but it's hitting this area, and it's going sideways now. You could put a buy order right above this, say at 12.12. Because if it pops this, it more than likely will shoot up and close that bar at 12.018.
Potential TX on CL.
See, it popped it. Let's see if it shoots up. This is 12,000 though, so I don't... More than likely this will pop up here since it broke. So you would have gotten in this trade instead of having to wait for another entry up here, just like earlier. You'd be in, and if it runs up, then you could take a quick scalp, or you can trail, or you can do whatever you want to do. Yep. Here's our 12.018 almost. Oh, we got it. Yeah, we got the 12.018. We got the breakout bar close up. And see, now you can sit through things a little easier if you're already in the profit by 6 points versus being in right now and it oscillating around your break even. I have triple clusters on the 10. I would love to get some HD if we can get this pullback around where I was mentioning, this 1210, 1208 area, this flux. I would love to get some HD or something to go with it, though. Let's see if we get something. I just don't like all those clusters, but it popped that area. See if we could pull back a little bit more. Come on, pull back a little bit more for me. With some HD, we have HD. We're within 2 points of but I want it to pull back a little more. There we go. Oh, shot down a lot. We have a lot of HD. I'm gonna give this a second to see if it wants to come back up a little bit. All right, I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna try it. Hopefully, it doesn't come back down into that zone. It very well could come back down in that zone. Let's see if we can at least get another pop back up to the clusters. There we go. Going to break even and hit 20 ticks. It may hesitate around these clusters here. Not sure it'll just run past these clusters. So I may look to take something. It's going to hesitate around these clusters. Knocked me out. I've tightened, it hit my 20 ticks, and there's those triple clusters. So I could have just taken my profit with those 20 ticks. I probably should have, actually. That's probably what I should have done, because it has those triple clusters. So I kind of messed that up. That's interesting. I didn't take the trades in any of my other accounts. I had the wrong market selected on my trade copier. That's fine. Okay. Lesson here. Because of, I should have taken, when this popped up to those clusters, I expected that. I wasn't sure if it'd continue running. So I probably, or not probably, I should have just taken my 20 ticks on that instead of sitting in it and going to break even and seeing if it'll break and continue going long. So that was kind of my mistake on that. I should have just taken my 20 tick profit. Yeah, I didn't lose anything. It's fine. I mean, I still gave it the chance to go, but being that where we are in the market right now and those triple clusters, it was a pretty good indication that I should have just taken that 20 tick profit. Nice, ES Bill. ES Futures Trader. Yeah, that's a good scalp. That's a nice one. I liked that one. Had a lot of HD. I mean, there's a lot going for it. I really like this one, and kind of little frustrated I didn't take my 20 ticks on it, but oh well. Had the ZOI, broke that area, came back, tested. That's what I like, where it breaks an area and comes back for the test. So that's confirmation 1. Confirmation 2 is it had a ton of HD, 290%. So I had double confirmations on there. And then I had these triple clusters. So pretty clear indication that it's going to come up to these clusters and hesitate. So yeah. 1125 4. Yeah, so it got like up to 19 ticks on it. But it was enough for a scalp for sure. Nice. That'll work, Dan. Awesome, G Money. It's always a nice feeling for your first trade in PA accounts to be a winner. Yeah, for sure, Dan. Hey, and there's always a lesson to be learned as well. You know, that one, I could have secured my 20 ticks. Yeah, I mean, don't get me started with Apex. That's why I only use Apex. I only promote what I use. So great service. Great service. Quick. They have everything, their systems down so well. You sign those PA agreements, do the steps necessary, and bam, next thing you know, you got some PA accounts ready. Oh, and you see, so I got 2 ticks from there. You can see the little P&L thing there. But on my simplicity chart, my indicator here shows 0 because this one is tied to my PA account. And like I said, it didn't copy any of my other accounts on that trade because I had the wrong market selected in my trade copier.
Potential TBS on NQ.
And see, even though we technically had a simplicity short going here, it's not one I'd be looking. It did not trend at all, so I'm not looking for a pullback on it. But in a lot of cases, what happened, many cases, price wouldn't come back and then not just continue running long in this whole setup. So, yeah, I had the clusters here to kind of tell me that might not happen, but in a lot of cases, well, and I guess there wasn't really nothing on the 30 or nothing else to kind of push off of here, but most cases, when it breaks an area, you'll get a pop and pull back, and then it'll just keep running. So that's what I was really going for. We got this nice wall up here. Now it's trying to go long again. Got another little chop going on the 50 tick, trying to create another little chop box. So this will make a third bar of chop. It could break from this third bar, but let's see if it'll do that or not. $12.018 again is where that bar would close. So that'd be exactly this top. Well, not exactly. 12.018 right there. Yeah, Dan, there's lots to juggle whenever situations come live. The most important thing for me is, like I said the other day, if I'm going to enter a trade, I'm risking my 15 ticks, and I'm okay with that. And I don't want to go to break even until price has moved at least 20 ticks. So once that happens, then I'm okay. The most important thing is moving to break even in case if it doesn't go. I mean, yeah, G Money. That's right. Your thinking is right. You know, the closer to the open we get, the more things that you're reading doesn't matter because you know how the open goes. It just can fly all over the place. Um, so yeah, we're getting really close to me just ending my session here. And we do have our dark zone 5 minutes before the open and after the open that we absolutely don't trade because anything can happen. But even like you said, even as we're getting closer, it's 9:19 right now. I mean, it's yeah, it can be a little more unpredictable for sure. Oil's in a nice move up past the one deviation. Yeah, like say for example, I entered here, and as this is pulling up, if maybe a couple double clusters would have popped up here, and it's like, ooh, this looks like it's not going to even go to those 20 ticks. I already see that we have double clusters, and then here a couple double clusters or something pops up, and it's like, maybe you want to move to break even then, just in case if that reverses. See, what's happening now is what I was expecting to happen when I was in the trade. We are close to the dark zone, but we're getting very close. Yes, other than price just moving the 20 ticks. See, this is what I may be, if this pulls back, I may be willing to take it at this time because this is the move I was expecting when I was in the trade. This is exactly the move I was expecting. We do have ODD on the 10 tick though. I mean, the 30 tick. Potential ODD and mini magnet. But it may be coming down to this area to the left to test those clusters if it pulls back. And it's moved away from 12,000 enough for me. Made a new high. Let's see. Let's see if this does pull back. It's testing the area to the left, the top to the left. That was an LRE right there, but I was looking for something else with it other than Ooh, we might get a TBS short here. So like in this situation, if that TBS short closes down, I wouldn't go against it. Because it's a higher high with a TBS short. Technically, that was an LRE as well. I hesitated though because I was looking at the number, the volume number, and it was like 4 at that time. And it might just chop here. All right, yeah. I'm not going to do anything stupid. I kind of wanted that one, but now we're getting too close to the dark zone. Other than it testing this top right here to the left, that's how I was looking for it to pull back a little bit more and kind of test this area. And then I saw it had like a 4 right there, so I was like, I hesitated, and now I'm out. I'm not gonna do. Yeah, exactly, Dan. It kind of felt like I would have been forcing that one. So, yeah. And now we're like 5 minutes away from the dark zone. So, and it gave that little extra push here with this ODD 14%, not a setup, but ODD, and now it's pulling back again. I'm not liking it anymore. Now we are 5 minutes to the dark zone, so going to call it a day. Getting that itch too, so I feel the itch coming. Don't want to do anything stupid, so I'm gonna call it a day. Going to call this a day. It's 9:25 dark zone, so yep, gonna call it a day. Got it. There was a nice scalp today. Nice scalp. But yep. Remember the news at 10 o'clock and Biden speaking at 10:30 if you are gonna be trading. So y'all have a great day, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Maybe this is shaping up to give us some better days coming soon. So see y'all tomorrow, and as always, trade well. Y'all take care.